Hi, in this video we are going to talk about multiple inheritance. Multiple inheritance is when a class inherits from two or more classes. This is an example of multiple inheritance. Class C inherits from A and B. There might be more classes. So there are two or more parent classes, then this is multiple inheritance. Multi-level inheritance on the other hand is different. In multi-level inheritance, we have a class which is ancestor of another class and this class is ancestor of another class. So the idea is when you have multiple levels inheritance, then it is multi-level, and when a class inherits from two or more, that's multiple inheritance. Here is code example of multiple inheritance. We have a class A. For simplicity, I have kept it empty. It might contain some attributes. Class B, again it might contain its own attributes. Class C, it inherits from A and B. So what do we mean by inherit from A and B both? It means that class C is going to have all attributes of class A and it's also going to have all attributes of class B. And then it might contain its own attributes. So when you create an object of class C, A's constructor is called, then B's constructor is called, then C's constructor is called. For example, if I write a constructor in class A in which I write some cout statement, A's constructor is called, and if I write some constructor in B and write a statement, B's constructor called, and then I make a constructor in class C and write inside it that C's constructor is called. So what will happen? I'll get the output as A's constructor called, B's constructor called, C's constructor called. What is the order of these constructor calls? The order is same as you put here. So if you put class A first, then A's constructor is called first, then B's constructor. And if you put B first, then B's constructor will be called first and then A's constructor if you have written A later. Multiple inheritance is not allowed by many other programming languages. For example, Java does not allow multiple inheritance because there are problems with multiple inheritance, and the popular problem is called diamond problem. We have a class A which is base class, then there are two classes inheriting from it, B and C. Then there is a class D inherits from both B and C. Since multiple inheritance is allowed, D can inherit from both B and C. Here is code for the same thing. We have class A, class B inherits from A, class C inherits from A, class D inherits from both B and C. Now, I create an object of D, and when I access D.X, what will happen? Because the members of class A are inherited through two paths. So the object of D has two copies of X. One inherited through B class and one inherited through C class. So your compiler throws a compiler error, ambiguous access to variable X, because X is present through B and also present through C. In fact, you can try putting some cout statements in the constructors of these classes. If you put a constructor here, A, and put a cout statement, A's constructor called, and if you put a constructor in B and a constructor in C and a constructor in D, you will see that when you create an object of D, you will get A's constructor called two times. Why? Because A is inherited through two paths. A is inherited through this, A is inherited through this. And all the members, they get two copies in an object of D. So this is the problem, diamond problem, and C++, since it allows multiple inheritance, has a solution for it. The solution by C++ is to use virtual keyword. We use virtual keyword when we inherit from class A, right? So we use virtual keyword two times. What is the advantage of virtual keyword? What do we achieve? When we create an object of D, the constructor of A is called exactly once. So now if you run this program, you will not get compiler error. You will get some value of X. In this video, we talked about multiple inheritance. We compared it with multi-level inheritance. Multiple inheritance is when a class inherits from multiple classes. Multi-level inheritance is when there are multiple levels in the inheritance. We talked about the problem with multiple inheritance, diamond problem. We talked about its solution provided by C++, and the solution is to use virtual keyword.